Hello everybody. It's been a long time. I've had some trials and tribulations. Now I'm in the mountains. I'm gonna kick off my time in the mountains doing something I've never done before, which is eating a snowball. I deserve a snowball. I've had a journey with my book since I last spoke to you. I've spiraled, risen, spiraled again, risen, spiraled, like being in a hurricane or twister, if you will. Explain more later. There's boo-boos down there. But for now, first time ever trying a snowball, delicious coconut chocolate cake, sugar, all things I enjoy. Let's do it. It smells really good. That's not what I was expecting, but that's pretty good. It was a lot spongier than I thought it was going to be. And the marshmallow, I haven't even really gotten to the marshmallow yet. Okay, you know what? We're just going to do this. Better with the marshmallow. Entirely too sweet. I don't know how anyone could eat two of these. I could probably eat part of one of these. But I'm pleased. I'm pleased I did this. Okay. I had a couple more bites and I had to rethink it because it's actually kind of gross, but I couldn't stop eating it. I had to throw the rest of it away so I wouldn't eat it because I would have eaten it. But it was like gross but good. And I don't know what that says about me, but I think I'm going to find out this week. Stay tuned. Where I last left off, I think I was feeling more confident about having not broken my book, about having finished a draft, about revision, and it was all very positive. And then I started thinking and working, and things went south real fast. It's all okay now, but it was definitely a weird month for various reasons, one of which being like revision was not easy, little peasy, gonna go as swimmingly as any thingy kind of endeavor. So I didn't really film it. I probably should have filmed the highs and the lows, but basically I had fits and starts of working and not working and thinking the whole thing wasn't gonna go at all and thinking, oh, I have to rewrite humongous chunks of it. And I did have to rewrite some big chunks and I'm still not 100% sure it works, but I've gone over the hurdle of thinking it's a total disaster. I have a critique partner reading it right now and I'm very anxiously awaiting her thoughts. But I think where we last left off, I had someone read it and give me notes, honest notes, and I agreed with some of the notes, but I thought I knew how to fix all the problems. Then when it came time to implement them, I became overwhelmed because there were certain elements that were big elements that required changes, and it was just things that were hard to wrap my brain around. Like I had to, within the story, people have individual secrets and a group secret, and I had to change individual secrets because some of them were worse than the group secrets, and that doesn't really work for a lot of reasons, but I just went way too far with individual secrets, and these people were way too terrible, and the group secret wasn't weighing as heavily, so I had to change the central kernel around which the entire story popped, which actually wasn't as big a deal as I thought it would be because I had all the details and pieces in the right place. It was just changing the information. Now I'm on the other side and I'm sweating in a cabin in Redding Springs, California. Just waiting for the next word on this. I also changed an entire character. I changed their gender and a lot of their motivations. And then I had to rewrite the whole climax and ending of the book. Everything kind of ended up the same, but how we got there was different, and I had people in places where they weren't before. It was just like a lot of little choreography to work out. But I made it to the top of the mountain, and I had, like, as I said, lots of days where I just didn't write anything at all because I couldn't do anything. I was like paralyzed basically. And then the doubts are creeping in as I wait for feedback to come. So we'll see what happens. As I was saying, I was having a rough time. what were my other doubts? Because I had to change the character, I had to change the secrets, I had to rewrite the end of the book, and I'd written this extra little twist at the very, very end of the book because I like that second twist, like, you know, on the almost last page of the book. And I really liked it, but it didn't really work with the new ending, so I kind of left in a pseudo twist, but it's not as big as the one I wanted to do. It implies the same thing about a certain character, but I don't know if it has the same effect, or maybe it has more effect, who's to say? And yeah, I think that's about where I am and what's been going on. So now I'm in Running Springs, as I mentioned, in a cabin in the woods, and just having a chilled time, but also I'm interested in working on a new project while I'm here. So more on that in a minute. Hey everybody. So I totally failed at vlogging. This was meant to be kind of a writing, reading, exploratory journey of the creative soul kind of trip. But it was instead like, relax, eat some terrible Mexican food that gives you sulfur burps, play a weird game that doesn't have all its pieces, like take a really hot long hike that was fun, except for your dog keeps sitting down every few minutes, but that's okay because you are also dying and you both need constant water breaks, and your ever present, ever loving companion helps you through the hard times, and you ascend the mountaintop, and then you get to the bottom of the mountaintop, and then everyone's really sleepy and tired, and sometimes journeys of the creative soul are for resting and recharging, and not for like blasting through all the things you want to do, because sometimes all the things you want to do aren't the things you have to do or should do, and you gotta give yourself a break. There's so much to see, so much to do, so you need to rest so you can see and do it all, and that is what I did. And I'm not gonna feel bad about it because I feel good about it, and I feel good about me. So yeah, I gotta go. Got a few things to take care of before we set off back for the city, but I'll be in touch. Hello, so I'm clearly not in Running Springs anymore. I am back in LA, ready to dive back into revision. And I got some notes from a critique partner and have been doing some thinking on problem solving. I think I mentioned I was waiting for the notes from the critique partner, and there was nothing like hugely surprising in them. There's a few valid points that I have to address. There's a couple things that sometimes when I'm writing, I don't fully solve a problem hoping I can get away with doing kind of, not the bare minimum, but like a smaller minimum. And if no one notices, I'm like, great. But people notice because I knew they would notice certain plot elements that weren't quite gelling. So I got to make those fixes. And then she pointed out a couple other issues that I wasn't quite sure about whether or not they were going to be issues. And it was like, oh, these are issues. Long story short, there were a few issues, and I'm going to do another small round of revision because I think this revision is just, I have a few different plot twists throughout the book, and I think the consensus on commentary from readers and critique partners is that I need to seed certain ideas earlier, and I do have a couple villain speeches, which I don't have a huge problem with, but I think people are right, and it would work better if there were certain elements that were not in the villain speech, but were laid out more artfully earlier in the book. So I got some art to do, and I'm feeling better about the book as a whole. I still have my doubts. I'm still on a roller coaster ride, but I'm like very excited to get this to my agent and out of my hands. So I think so far I've been just thinking and ideating. That's a word people use in business, I've heard. I've been ideating solutions for problems, and I think I've come up with a good amount of them. Oh, and I also have some updates on the garden, so I will take you on a small tour of that. But basically, I'm feeling like 85% confident about my book. I'm wanting to bump that up to like a 95%, which is like a humongous percentage, but I feel like I can do that. So let's check out the garden and then get into some revisions, maybe take a dog walk. I'm ready to be back in the world of a functioning human person. Let's do it. Garden has been fed, so too must I be. And then do some vlogging. Let's do it. Many days have passed and things have happened, mostly being that, remember how I said I was like done spiraling and I was feeling really positive and it was going to be better from here on out, there on out, heretofore on out. This was not true. So what happened was I came across some other issues when I was reading back through some of the notes I got from my CPs, and I was like, oh, here's this bigger issue with the whole book. And then when I kind of went to clarify this issue with the CPs, I was like, oh no, this is a humongous issue. Maybe I have to rewrite the whole book. Maybe this whole thing doesn't work. Blah, 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 spiral, 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 basically. And now I've come out the other side, and I do have a game plan that requires a little more revision than I thought, but nothing crazy, and it will make, I mean, it is a little crazy, but it'll make everything better. And I have like this list of story questions that I need to answer in my planning. But again, having a page of questions isn't so bad because a lot of the stuff is answerable just fairly easily, while other things have a little more of a detailed response required. There are a couple big elements in the book that need to be completely redone or tweaked, but I'm now excited and I'm ready to dive into the revision almost. I want to really nail down all the different changes I'm making and make sure everything's flowing. And I am going to be doing the re-outlining thing, which before I was like, I don't need to do that. I'm not going to do that. But now I think I am, because I have these ideas that are very exciting and will make the book much stronger. But I definitely was downtrodden, and I was definitely wallowing thinking I'd written this ridiculous book that is unfixable and it was broken and there was no way to come through to the other side. But I see now there is a way to come through to the other side, and I'm a little frustrated because I had all these goals of when I wanted to get it to my agent, which of course are just getting pushed back and pushed back. But I'm trying to remind myself that it's okay to take time. It's okay to be a little slow, because you want the book to be the best book it can be. So I think by tweaking these different things, it's going to strengthen the whole book. All boils down to, I'm excited. I got changes to make, but I'm motivated. Once I think I have a better idea of the full-on process, I think I'll wait to make my deadline until I actually begin. getting into it. Yeah, we're just gonna roll with it, and we're gonna just let the book be the best book it can be, and however long that takes, it's not gonna take forever, and we will come up with a realistic deadline once we know what reality is. So here we go. Okay, so I didn't really wrap up that vlog. So this is me saying, this is the end of the vlog for now. I will be back soon with like some regular videos, I hope. I had a very stressful little stretch of time here, and it's still gonna be stressful, but that's, you know, I'm figuring out how to work with it. So I'll be coming back with some more vlogs, some other videos real soon. So I will see you all next time. Bye.